We don't even get the intro on the weekend. You ever notice that Lindquist gets that? It's like the Odd Shopper thing, and it's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Here, another edition of Lindy's Locks." We don't even get that. This is not endorsed. This is not sanctioned by Eric Lindquist. This is a ripoff. This is, as they say in Philadelphia, a Bobo version of the leans and the locks. I'm here because nobody else is going to do this on a Friday or Saturday night. That's just the cold, hard truth. I'm here also because I want to be here, and I have no problem, and I love working, probably to a fault, which is why this thing works. What do you think? Josh Engelman is going to sit here on 9:30, 9:50 on a Saturday night? You think you're going to find Dave Lochran somewhere around a microphone and camera at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night giving you game by game in Major League Baseball? Good luck getting Greg Ehrenberg to answer the phone. In fact, I haven't heard from Ben Raza in days. Has anybody else? This guy works really hard. I get it, but even he needs time off. Hey, welcome. It is the leans, the locks, anything else that you want to throw out here. Great. We're going to do things a little different tonight. Hopefully it works with you from like a visual standpoint. Look, right away, I'm going to jump right into it. Thumbs up, subscribe. You know the drill here. I'm going to go over to BetMGM, and I'm going to give you two plays. We're going to start with the top play. And when we get to the back end, I'll show you what you can do there with BetMGM. But the number one play on the board at the first play that we start with on this 12-game docket for us, Seattle's at Houston. We're going to take Seattle on the run line, as you can see. And look, that's right there on BetMGM. Jump in. There are links below for you. BetMGM is one of them. 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, here's the difference. You jump in on BetMGM below, you're going to get that risk. You're going to get the bet back up to $1,000 if you miss. That's fine. I put together a nice little two-leg parlay, but that one works. Seattle plus 1.5 on the run line is our play in this game. Absolutely. When you look at Hancock, I know it's his third start or so against Brown on the road. I get it, but we love this position for Seattle to keep this thing tight. And if it's your first bet on BetMGM, it's your first bet on FanDuel or Caesars or DraftKings, whatever's below here for you, it's going to work the same. Just use it to your advantage. See how this works? Okay. So right away, we go Seattle against Houston at Houston, and we'll take Seattle on the run line. All right, let's keep this thing moving. I'll go through a couple of these games. These are leans at the moment right now until we get back to that last game on BetMGM. Next one here, San Fran taking on Atlanta. We just saw how tight this thing was. Looks like it's going to be a bullpen start. Max Fried at home for Atlanta should not scare you by any means. If you can get even money, if you can get anything at like minus 105 or better for San Francisco against Max Fried on the road for the Giants, I get it still. I'm interested. And I think that would be my lean here, would be San Francisco on the money line. I get it that it's going to be more of a bullpen back-end pitching matchup for San Fran, but you don't always need Logan Webb on the hill to beat a team like Atlanta, especially at home. There's an outing there. All right, we gave this to you leading up to today. Clearly, the Red Sox did not do their part, but we're going to go again, especially with Winkowski taking on Clark Schmidt. So right away, that should jump out to you as an underplay, and it's an under lean for us. Josh Winkowski and Clark Schmidt are not necessarily dominant, but we think the bats kind of regress a little bit, and it's going to be hard, even in Yankee Stadium, it's going to be hard for the Boston Red Sox to truly manufacture some runs. So far, these are the three that I've given you. We'll talk about these other four here, or these other two, to make it a complete one. But as you can see here, Seattle on the run line, San Fran money line, those that lean 2, 3, and 4 are leans here. Yankees, we're going to take that as an under. Detroit, Cleveland, the first YRFI play of the day right now. I love how things just roll off the tongue. Logan Allen on the hill versus Eduardo Rodriguez. And look, Rodriguez has dominant numbers at times, and Logan Allen has been sharp, but still not consistently sharp. In fact, I think the road team actually stands a really good chance, Detroit getting a run early in this game. And I would look at that. I'd look at Detroit and Logan Allen being the culprit right away. But, of course, On the road, it's not going to be the easiest thing for Rodriguez either. Let's not just pencil in a scoreless first for him, as I think there's a nice little pathway there. And then the last one, now we get back to the betting board, and we're under 9.5. Those are our first 5. Ryu versus Green, under 9.5 here. Much better pitching matchup, I think, to bank on. And look, Ryu is still getting feet wet, etc. out there, not monster starts. But I think you can look at just good numbers in these starts. And also, how about the other side? Hunter Green, the 31.5 to 9.7 K to walk rate, the 211x batting average. This is no joke right here. So we go under 9.5, and look what I've done for you. Remember that offer that I told you about at BetMGM? All right, let's go back to that as a reminder here. It doesn't have to be BetMGM, but we're giving you that under 9.5, Seattle 1.5. That's a parlay, folks, plus 220. Put whatever you want, anywhere from 10 to $1,000 on that as your first bet, or make it your first bet somewhere else, whatever book you're signing up. It's Odd Shopper. It doesn't have to be, but the difference, of course, is when you sign up at BetMGM, you get access to the Eric Lindquist Discord, which is more than just Eric Lindquist, but we'd like to remind you that it's got a lot of Eric in it. That's all. That's all. Got a lot of Eric in it. All right, this is where we are right now, and we'll keep things moving here. I'll show you the plays below as we go, but just wanted to remind you at least that you can use that freebie, that parlay, on anything. On anything. All right, let's keep it moving here because I love it, man. I love it. From Cincinnati to Minnesota, and this game, it bleeds a lot into it, but you're going to see another under for us. You're just going to see another chance for us to go under in this game, and it's Beto versus Keuchel. Keuchel has clearly settled in and shoved it back to the haters without a doubt. We like the under. 9.5 is just a big number. I get it. Minnesota does have that home run power where they can have a couple of these guys just go off on Jags, but we're not anticipating that in this game. I think 2 nights ago was the chance to do it. Friday was the chance, and they blew it. They blew it. You blew it. They blew it. Osvaldo Beto he's not great, but he's able to pitch every now and again a little above those numbers. And that's helpful. That's super helpful in a spot like this. So as we go on and knock off these next 7 here, and we'll put them back up on that big screen, don't you worry. Under 9.5 would be the play here. All right. From there, Citi Field. Boy, this team, or St. Louis, I'm sorry, this game is being played in St. Louis. Might as well be played on the moon. Who gives a shit? Seriously, who gives a shit about this game? What are you gaining from this game? Dakota Hudson, Carlos Carrasco. Awful, just awful pitching matchup. Nobody wants to play in this game. Nobody wants this season to go on for either one of these teams. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's atrocious, and you know it's atrocious. But if we're going to take a side, if we're going to do anything here with it, you might as well jump on and take the home team and lay the 1.5. That's right. I mean, we kind of have to, right? Final 5. Let's do it. Gave you that St. Louis. Don't worry. Minus 1.5. We're also going to lay the Cubs there too. Just so you see that. All right. Cubs minus 1.5 against the Royals. Sign us up. I don't care that Lindy doesn't approve. He hasn't approved of the video. But taking on the Royals, this is not a great matchup for Kansas City. It hasn't been here. And with Jordan Lyles on the road, there's so many opportunities for Chicago. Now, look, Kyle Hendricks is probably going to get hit too. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. I just don't think you're going to see that huge of an effort from both Lyles and the Royals bats to make this any type of a threat. Chicago, just the better team, the momentum, all of that. Let's roll. Cubbies -1.5. All right, Milwaukee, Texas. This is another wire FI. Open it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. Open it up. Open it up. Milwaukee, Texas. Yurfie. Ugh. That's such a stupid thing. Why are you saying that? Hey, Adrian Hauser's been really good. Max Scherzer's been really good. You're going to get plus money for this play, and you should jump on it. Although Adrian Hauser's numbers overall, he comes off a pretty good start, so maybe that carries in. Max Scherzer, as we know, going back in that spot. But look, he is not above, especially with these Milwaukee bats, making an early mistake. There's some power hidden in there. Not really hidden, but there's some power in there. You don't have a ton of guys mixed around, depending on where this lineup sits, at least a top that jump out with just strikeouts, meaning like that's all they do. Colorado hosting the White Sox. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this game. Dylan Cease versus Chris Flexen. Chris Flexen is not a Major League Baseball pitcher, yet he somehow finds himself in Major League Baseball scenarios where he's pitching. Dylan Cease, I mean, this K rate has kind of jumped back up a little bit, but everywhere else, there are some areas of concern that we just didn't have last year. So let's roll there. All right. Colorado over 11.5 in Coors Field. We like the White Sox to hit, especially against Chris Flexen. Look, they can put up 10 points on their own. Be fair to yourself. That's the reality. I mean, that total can just shoot way the hell up. So I don't want to hear any pushback on that because, again, when you're going up against Chris Flexen, your team alone can handle all of that. All right, last two plays. We'll go back to the big board here for you, but last two plays, Oakland hosting Baltimore. We like a first inning run again. That's just what we do. Kyle Bradish versus J.P. Sears. Neither one of these guys, Bradish 23 to 7 K to walk rate, 22.5 to 6 Sears. These are not bad numbers. Baltimore just a difficult team to strike out. I don't think that J.P. Sears pitches a clean first. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't see it. Bradish, on the other hand, I mean, look, struggling at times to contact. Both of these guys at times struggling to contact. I know they're not going to walk, but one base runner could be enough for these floodgates to open. Last play there for you, Sunday Night Baseball. We're just going to take the Phillies on the run line. Offensive explosion last time out, and look at what you got. You got madness, right? Because, of course, it was, you got madness because it was all about that late push. And that's what makes the Phillies so difficult. They are dead in the water for like 4 or 5 innings, and then they can be the best team in baseball. Doesn't make any sense. I'm not here to explain it, but Washington Sunday night at home doesn't do anything at all to negate that. Nothing. One more time before we get out of here. This is what it looks like over at BetMGM, the parlay for you. It's your first bet on MGM. It's going to take you 40 seconds to sign up below. You can put anywhere from 10 to 1,000 up there, and you get 2 free months of the Discord. Not bad. That's just not bad at all. Did you hit the thumbs up at least? Did you subscribe? Did you do any of that at all?